go. And I will be posting the recording probably this weekend, so it should be available on the Innovate Bio website probably by Monday afternoon. The other thing I want to mention is next week we've got a great project talk as well. That talk will feature Drs. Misty Whaling and Elizabeth Bodecker. Dr. Whaling is going to talk about their ATE project with implementing an undergraduate research project. That project is focused on why are dogs more social than wolves? I think that's going to be fun. Dr. Bodecker is going to talk about her project with genome editing and developing curriculum to be using CRISPR in their classes and some of the challenges that they've had implementing this project through the pandemic, which I'm sure many of you can relate to. So you can find more information about the ATE Project Talk series at innovatebio.org. All right, so our speaker today, I'm really happy to welcome Dr. Karen Leung from the City College of San Francisco. She has pioneered this really cool, well, a lot of really interesting things and pedagogies, but I really like this one, which is speed networking, which they use at City College with their students and industry and their alumni. She's going to be talking about this for a little while, and then afterwards, we're going to get the chance to try it. So without any more hesitation, welcome Dr. Leung.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for coming to this first session. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm just going to talk to you guys a little bit about speed networking, and then you're going to get to go, like Sandy said, you're going to go and try it. Before I get too far ahead, I just want to know this is from an ATE project that's a combination between City College of San Francisco, Austin Community College, and Johnston Community College. And so we're basically taking speed networking and testing it in a variety, and some other materials as well for alumni and industry engagement at 3 different community colleges. And I just highlighted there on the slide, we do have a website, and I'll try to drop the link in chat at some point today for some of the tools that we've built and we're going to be continuing to build. So if you're interested, that's a great place to go to check it out. So first, just a real quick background on the grant itself and the theory of change for this grant. The idea really was we were trying to figure out, we realized that we have a lot of alumni now that are actually in industry, right? Well, some of our programs have been going on for decades. And so we have a fair number of industry representation that's sort of homegrown, but there tends to not be a lot of overlap between, at least at City College of San Francisco, there hadn't been a lot of overlap between the alumni and the students in the program. And we really wanted to increase that. We wanted to do this through alumni success stories and speed networking, which again, I'll talk to you about more, with the hope that with this type of overlap, especially with students overlapping with alumni who are probably more identify with their communities, with their backgrounds, their career pathways, that they'd have a chance to really talk to people that were more like them and give them a stronger sense of belonging and science identity, as well as just a greater awareness of what opportunities were available in their area and in biotechnology. And then with the hope with that would mean there would just be more overlap in general between industry and students, and that would grow the pool of students as well, both through retention and recruitment in our programs. And so just not to belabor that point, but the idea was that an increased alumni and industry direct interactions would lead to an increased sense of belonging, science identity, self-efficacy, and biotech career awareness, which would also then lead to higher recruitment and retention in our programs. And then on top of that, you kind of hope to build a feedback loop where students, as they're being able to interact more with alumni, are then going to become alumni themselves and then come back and support the program, right? And continue to be sort of our industry conduit for the program. Overall, the goal of this grant was to establish a network to document alumni career pathways, and then to really develop tools to create these direct interactions between industry, really alumni in industry, and our current students and potential students. So let me tell you a little bit about speed networking. I think it's probably one of those things that you're fairly aware of, just sort of how it works and what it is. But in this particular context, the idea is that we bring industry professionals together with students for 10 to 15-minute increments to discuss educational and career goals and their experiences. The overall goal is to really help students build a network in their chosen field, right? For us, biotech. And learn more about that field, and really then also develop confidence in talking with professionals, just recognizing that scientists are just normal human beings. It can be a really challenging start, at least that's something I've seen with students. What's really nice about these events, and you can see when we used to do them in person in the lower left corner, this is at City College of San Francisco prior to the pandemic. These are really fun and relaxed events. There's a lot of direct career exploration. So, you know, we do and have and still do bring in guest speakers from time to time. But what's really nice here is that it's a direct interaction, so students can ask the questions that are pertinent to them and get answers directly from people in the field. It really helps build their confidence in networking. We have an assignment in one of our classes to do like an informational interview, and the numbers of students who would actually actively go find contacts after doing these events went up significantly once they sort of just got used to talking to people and realizing that was maybe more comfortable than they had originally thought. It really helps maintain a network of industry professionals and alumni for the program, because this is a way of lots of industry professionals and alumni directly interacting and coming to the program on a semi-regular basis. And it also really helps students prepare for networking and interviews downstream. In 2020, just with everything, we moved to virtual. We started doing this instead of at tables, doing it in Zoom breakout rooms, which is what you're going to get to try out today. We would have one industry professional with 1 to 3 students for, again, 10 to 15-minute rounds for them to talk. Then we would rotate the industry professional to a different breakout room with each round. And within about an hour and a half to 2 hours, students generally get a chance to connect with up to 6 professionals directly. So overall, I think there's a lot of benefits for this pretty simple event, right? Like definitely conceptually, which for students, I'm going to show you a little bit of data later from City College students, that seems to increase a sense of belonging and self-efficacy and science identity. An increased awareness of careers and opportunities in biotech, expanded their network considerably and contacts for future careers, right, for different job applications going downstream, increased their communication and networking skills. This one was really huge, especially for students who just really, you know, networking seemed like a bad word. It gave them some confidence, and it really gave them a chance to obtain knowledge that was specific to their educational and career goals. For the program itself, it really helped with engagement with industry and alumni. It was, at least we have some decent data to show that it improved retention and presumably should be able to increase recruitment as well if you're using this with potential students who then would get a better sense of the community, of the types of jobs, of interacting with industry professionals that maybe have backgrounds and identities similar to theirs. It increased industry awareness of our program. I think most of us are probably familiar that the best part of our programs are our students. So there is nothing like having our students actually talk directly to industry for them to get excited about our programs. And it really lowered the barrier for industry engagement. So a lot of times, right, we ask guest speakers to come in, or maybe we ask somebody to host an intern. These, even just doing guest speaking means you have to come up with a presentation and write like a time, and they have to go to the place. It can be sort of more than someone has the time to do, but this really requires virtually no preparation and 1.5 to 2 hour time commitment. And when it's done virtually, they don't even have to get out of their offices or their home to do it. For our alumni, it really helped them in additional networking and building their own network with new students and with alumni, opportunities to give back, increased communication skills, opportunities to recruit to their organization. A lot of them get signing bonuses, right? If someone, they find somebody to come to their company, and an opportunity to continuously engage with faculty, especially if they needed letters of recommendation going downstream. And lastly, but not least at all, for industry, this really provided us an opportunity to engage with industry and for that industry to give back at multiple levels. We were not asking for the CEO or even the scientist. We actually just wanted we wanted technicians. Early entry level technicians were the best, right? That's who our students want to talk to. What's the next job that's happening for them? And it really provides a way for the whole company to engage, or people at a variety of levels of the whole company to engage with our students. It gave them an opportunity to recruit for future employees or interns, and a chance to just like communicate their science, articulate that to the broader community, to people who perhaps they're not generally in communication with. So I just wanted to give you a few quotes from students who've attended these, and then a little bit of data. So these were anonymous surveys that we provided at the end of these sessions. And student feedback included things like, it's amazing to speak with those who just finished the program. These individuals are currently, this one, City College, working in the Bay Area, and give me pure insight into the next steps I should take, or questions I should be asking myself at this stage of my career. Everyone was so kind and helpful. This is an uplifting and informative experience. Another student said, it's just great to speak with people who've had similar paths and are currently in positions I hope to be in someday. And last, met with receptive, knowledgeable individuals with diverse backgrounds who shared with me their knowledge and journeys. I feel more confident about my own journey and the decisions I have to make in the near future. And just to give you a little bit of data, these were collected in years previous before we got the grant, but to show that this is a collection of respondents from 40 students over a couple of semesters, that students going through this event either agreed or strongly agreed at very high levels with statements like, this strongly influenced my ideas about who can be successful in a bioscience career. If I fit the description of someone who does science, if I would feel comfortable working in a bioscience work environment, that I could succeed in an internship. That was the next step for us, and this particular part of the program for the students who were going through it, and their desire to seek an internship the next semester. And the agree or disagree was pretty high overall for all the students. But what's really notable here is that it was even higher for female students, higher for students for which English was their second language, and higher for historically underrepresented students from historically underrepresented groups. And then the alumni and industry feedback has been really positive. So just to give you a couple of quotes, I'll just read the top ones, but I believe this is a great way for people with different backgrounds to connect and not only network, but practice for interviews. And this is actually from an alum who had been in these previously. These events have prepared me for a job in industry when I had no background in science. And it really did help inform my professional decisions, as I heard many different stories from alumni and professionals in industry. Another industry person saying, the students had the ability to ask anything, and it gives me a chance to remember someone for a future possibility for their employer. And it helps the students get feedback from people who have been in their shoes. The community that's built through events like this is necessary for students seeking what others have achieved under similar circumstances. And I think that it's so important to be thinking about, like, most of our students that are coming into community college, a lot of what they don't have is community in that new area that they want to move into. And this really helps build that beyond our classrooms, right? And the safety that we provide. It's giving them community and support as they move away from our classes. They have people to connect with. So hopefully that's made you think that this is might be a decent idea to do with students. And so we thought it would be more fun for you guys to try it. And also it's the beginning of the year and you could hopefully meet some new people. So the plan is that we're going to do we'll see how much time we have, but the plan is to do 3 12-minute rounds with 1 to 2 other people in the breakout room. And you just want to do a little introduction of yourself, maybe like 30 seconds, your name, your organization. If you have an ATE project, could outline that real quickly, and then discuss. These are prompts of just kind of coming up with something fun. But what was your greatest achievement last year? It could be anything, it doesn't have to be work related. And what are you really looking forward to this year? And then if you have time, because things we're really interested in is like, what do you think about this format for students networking with industry professionals? And also potentially for using this as a format for Zoom meetings to connect the ATE community more together in general. right? So instead of having, I mean, not that a big group isn't good and there's space for that, but a chance for you guys to more directly connect with each other and make new connections in ATE. Before I move forward, are there any questions before we throw you into breakout rooms? All right,
I have one thing.
Oh, please.
Before we go here. In fact, I'm going to stop the recording.